Path of Exile 2 Down of the Hunt. There is a new dexterity-based character, and it's of course Huntress. This is only Huntress leveling guide you will need, so let's go straight into it. So we will start right from the beginning, when you talk with this bro and he give you your first weapon. And our first weapon is a new weapon type in Path of Exile 2, Spear. And Spears is quite unique, because Spear will give your skill Spear Throw. So now you not only can attack it in melee range, but also you can combine it with range attacks. So we can attack from melee, go away, charge our spear, try to hit our enemies, and be careful because the spear can miss sometime. You need high accuracy to never miss, but overall character feels very good. So how we level up in early game and what is our leveling strategy? Basically, when you're making leveling builds, you need some stuff, and this stuff is of course our skills. But before we getting into the skill part of the game, we getting another new type of weapon as Huntress. We got Buckler. Buckler is a shield, but it's evasion shield. Yeah, you will have not only block chance, which is avoidance of damage, but also evasion, which is also avoidance. You can completely, but also you will get Parry skill, it's a new skill. Parry skill will instantly be on your panel, and you don't need to have extremely nice timing. Actually, you don't need to have any timing at all. So how you play with Parry? You just raise your buckler, you get ready, and this red thing on the enemy means he will take extra damage. So you just come in, you do like your shield block, your shield parry, and then attack. That's how you deal more damage to enemies. You can do it against bosses, but be careful, because when you're parrying, you're actually building up stun on yourself, so you can be heavily stunned and enemies will easily destroy you. Now we finally get into our build, but of course we don't have choice yet. The first skill you unlock as Huntress is Whirling Slash. And on the surface it looks like pretty basic, like Whirlwind Slash. It's actually a pretty complex skill. So first of all, you're doing damage, 70% of your base damage at level 1, and you knock back enemies. But also you're creating Whirlwind, which is another damaging source of this skill. It will slow enemy movement speed, and while you're standing in the whirlwind, it will gain stages. When you exit whirlwind, it will collapse and deal some damage. Our main Hunter's build will be based on this skill. Yeah, by the way, to gain stages and deal more damage, you just need to stay inside. As you can see, every time you use whirlwind in a quick succession, you will make this tornado larger and larger. That's basically how it works. So just standing still inside, not getting you stages, attacking with whirlwind getting you more stages, up to 3 stages at level 1. For now, let's have some fun, destroy some zombies and get to the first area of the game. Clear Fell Encampment. That's the area you will get access after you defeat first boss. He is pretty easy as Huntress, because you basically can evade all his shots. You can stay in the range, you can come close, you can like poke him with your spear, poke his back, poke his butt. You can even parry him for extra damage and do your skills like Whirlwind, do some attacks inside, get away, blow Whirlwind and have some fun. When you get to Clear Fell Encampment, make sure to talk with Renly and he will give you Uncut Skill Gem. That's the first part of our puzzle to get started with our build, leveling build. The second part will be right in the Clear Fell. So you enter over here, we can't do anything right now, but you need to go and find another Uncut Skill Gem. So right here in Abandoned Camp, in the chest, we get another skill gem. And it's time to get our first setup. So, Uncut Skill Gem number 1, what we can do with them? We can basically make any skills we like. And what we like to experiment with Spear, of course, and have some fun. And Huntress basically designed around a lot of combinations, so we need to make as powerful combination as possible. We got skills like Explosive Spear. It takes so much time to explode, but if you got frenzy charges from skills like Disengage, you can throw it and it will explode immediately. So it's pretty like complex skill, and I don't like it, especially considering how fast enemies is. What I recommend you to do and try to get Twister first, and we will be making Twister Huntress. So what is our next second skill gem? You get actually 2 options over here. And we can have disengage. What disengage will do, we basically will jump away with some damage. But what I like to take Frost Bomb first. Frost Bomb is insanely powerful stuff, especially for early levels. And now we will go right into Mud Burrow. That's where our skills can scale and our build will also scale. So here are some tricks right now basically. When you're doing this whirlwind around you, you can use Tornado and it will shoot tornadoes and they will deal a lot more damage while they're over here like in whirlwind. But coolest part, you actually can move with whirlwind, so you can like go jump with it forward, it will create extra charges and then you launch tornado backwards and destroy everyone you see. So that's insanely good clear, especially this early in the game. The coolest part, Twister is projectile, so yeah, it will scale with our projectile damage from Huntress skill, base of skill tree. And in this location in Mud Burrow we're looking for this big worm boss, and we definitely need to destroy him with all our power we'll have. This ice bomb is insanely good against him. He's standing on like one place most of the time, so you just come close, wait for him to stand still, do like triple tornado, launch it at him, maybe do like ice bomb and then await his attacks. So that's it basically, we will have no problems. If you don't wish to combine this jumping whirlwinds with tornadoes, you can actually completely forget it. While this doing more damage, you can just stand in range and launch tornadoes from the range. It looks weird, definitely not what you expected from Huntress, but still it works and you can do it like that. Still, it's a lot more powerful when you do it in combination. And after defeating him, you will get Uncut Skill Gem level 2. Yeah, now get back to Clearfell encampment, because we just finished quest. So this quest will give us Uncut Support Gem, and that's insanely important stuff. And the next support gem you will find in Grailwood. That's the next area you will go from Clearfell. In Grailwood you first will meet Delvin. He is a new dude over here and he will explain how spirits works, but basically they work pretty easy and straightforward. You just need to follow this like spirit, and this spirit will go and enchant monsters. When it reach its final destination, it will enchant super powerful monster and they will have better loot. Just like that, but also monster will be a lot more deadly, so be sure you are prepared, you got enough potions and lotions and you can actually fight with him. So anyway, we're here not for the spirit but for this exact checkpoint. This checkpoint right inside the hut, and here you will find cauldron with bottles, yeah, with potions and lotions. So new mana flask, new life flask, they are pretty good, you can instantly cube them, but most importantly we need to destroy this epic forgotten witch. She can be pretty powerful, but we need to destroy her in order to get another guaranteed support gem, so make sure to finish her off. And that's where we finally can adjust our skill build to our preference. As you can see, we got a lot of skills as Huntress, and every skill got some sockets. These sockets is for our support gems. Initially you can have only 2, but then you can advance and get up to 5. It's leveling guide, so we will stick with 2 because it's like basically most stable stuff you will get around the campaign. And how it works, basically we use uncut support gem and we will cut skills, but make sure you got turned on show all. There's a button for this, on PC there is checkbox, you just need to press it, because initially you will find that you can cut only like 3 of a kind of level 1 support gem, but when you turn show all, options are almost unlimited how you can customize your skill. So for example, normally you just throw 1 projectile, 1 twister. You can use scatter shot, and this will make you shoot 3 twisters at a time, but with lower damage. Combined with whirlwind, it will be even more twisters. As you can see, twisters all over the place. That's crazy how much twisters we have. Now take a look over here. When we attack with twister, it consumes whirlwind. You already know this, but For every stage you deal 80% more damage. More is insane word in Path of Exile 2 because it will raise your damage significantly, basically. More means it will be multiplicative addition. This means we actually want to have more Whirling slash stages all the time. That's why we engraving martial tempo on Whirling slash. So by using martial tempo, we will spin a lot faster and we will definitely need some attack speed, but this will give us ability to create these deadly twisters. And since we need some time to actually set this up, I like to use encumbrance. It will increase magnitude of our slows, especially slows that Whirling slash inflicting upon our enemies. And let's finish Twister. To make it inflict even more damage, we will use concentrated effect. It will reduce area but increase damage we are dealing with this skill. So, you won't have access to all these support skill gems if you're not lucky. You most likely will have only two. The first two should be Martial Tempo on Whirlwind and then Scattershot on Twister. And only then you use concentrated effect and then encumbrance. That's our initial leveling setup that we will use, and we will be able to fight versus bosses pretty easily and get permanent resist from ice, from cold attacks. Make sure to subscribe if you didn't know that, because there will be a big beginner friendly, like complete beginner guide very soon. So let's eat this cold resistance and let's go back to town, because I got something very cool to show you. We get our initial leveling setup, but right now we need to get our equipment ready. And there's a lot of equipment and it's hard to know what actually you need. Still, I got it pretty much sorted out for you. As you can see, we got highlighted weapon because we got this line pasted over here, copy pasted basically, in the shop. And this will highlight everything we got and we can use. For example, we definitely want movement speed boots to go through campaign a lot faster, and here we are, movement speed boots. Also, we want some nice gloves with extra damage to our attacks, and here we are, they're highlighted too. I got all these shopping lists for you. You can join my Discord and just copy paste from there. It will also highlight quality weapons and armors that can be disenchant, basically reassembled on crafting bench over here that we will unlock later in the game. Right now we will just save it for later. But right now we will travel to Grelwood and then to Red Vale to get access to Uncut Skill Gem level 3 after defeating boss, and to advance our build even further. And by the way, there is one more way to increase our damage. So instead of using Frost Bomb, I like this skill a lot, it's very good against early bosses. We can use Flame Wall instead, because Flame Wall will enchant any projectile that's coming off the Flame Wall, and basically we can create this like fire tornadoes that deal a lot more damage. So it's pretty easy to set up, you just press Flame Wall and make sure your tornadoes go through it. Combination easy, but extra step, but again, extra step is worth it if you defeat enemies a lot faster and they burn. Clear speed and damage is unmatched. It's like very good class and very nice clear, and everything you need in this game is clear most of the time. You can avoid bosses attacks, but you need to be able to defeat these monsters fairly easy and fairly fast, because they start to accumulate a lot when you advance through just first early levels. So this combo pretty easy and straightforward, but as I told you, when you finish this boss, you will get access to a level 3 skill point, skill slot, Uncut Skill Gem. Yeah, that's what we're doing right now. So, what we can do from level 3? Actually, there's a lot of very cool skills. Spear Field is cool because it will maim enemies, they will be slower, we can combine it with Whirling Slash, but again, we don't need to make them slower a lot, we want them to be destroyed. And to make them destroyed, what we want to improve power of our twisters and Whirling Slashes, of course. And to do it, we get one very nice skill over here, Fangs of Frost. Fangs of Frost is great, and we will instantly put it on our hotbar. So that's basically the full skill combination we need for our build, beside one skill of next level that we will unlock pretty fast towards the end of Act 1 to finish the build. So what Fangs of Frost doing? It's basically melee attack with a cold enhanced spear. That's how it looks like. We can freeze enemies and we can destroy them. So pretty much like an Ice Monk, but without area of effect abilities. You don't want to use it as just melee attacking ability. You want to use it after pairing enemies, because this will create explosion and chilled ground. That's what we want to use, because after we create chilled ground, look what we can do and achieve. So, parry, attack, chilled ground, and now our tornadoes become frozen. Now we can create this like frozen and fiery tornadoes basically. Once again, a little bit slower, full combination. So, we parry, then we do this attack, creating tornadoes. We can do 3 stages, and then launching this icy tornadoes that will freeze all enemies, and we can destroy them later again. So this is crazy how this works, and it's very fun. There's a lot of combination. It's really fun to play if you like some complex and pretty fun, interesting classes with multiple mechanics in one. I like this kind of builds. And if you got some support gems, I like to use Ice Bite on this. So we will get more cold damage attacks for 5 seconds after freezing enemy with this skill. This will enhance our combination even more. So we parry, we freeze, we do tornadoes, we launch this stuff, and that's basically how we roll. We don't need any like firewalls at this point of the game. It's just a lot of stuff going on, and this firewall is actually useless. And at this point of the game, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on the ground. We want to clear the screen. That's why we got nice stuff which got item filters. And all my item filters for leveling each class you can find in my Discord, link in the description. Just join, download, install, and it's pretty easy. How to install you can check in the internet pretty easily. Bam! Everything clear, nice, and only useful stuff on the ground. So, all these cool mechanics is cool, but you may find yourself in a situation where you're overwhelmed with them and can't actually parry, or maybe that's like not a good time to parry right now. Maybe you're fighting against like big pack of enemies or very scary boss, and you don't want to go close to parry, then to do this stuff and create ice tornadoes. I got it covered for you. What you want to do, you actually want to make level 3 skill, and it will be elemental skill. So level 3 elemental skills will require you to have at least 16 intelligence. This means you need to have intelligence on your gear, or you need to go to the top right part of your passive skill tree and get a little bit of intelligence over here. Or you can wait and go forward and then get intelligence over here. So instead of waiting for parry and doing then this cold attack, we will just keep this attack for our melee shenanigans, you know, when we need some melee attacks. And also as Huntress, you will get this Stalk and Leap. You will have increased melee damage if you dealt projectile attack in past 8 seconds, and increased projectile damage if you dealt melee hit in past 8 seconds. So basically as Huntress, you want to combine melee and projectile attacks to maximize your power and effectiveness. But you don't want to always be in melee range to make this ice ground. So that's how you can make ice tornadoes, and it's pretty easy. All you need to do is to just create this skill. So this skill called Frost Bolt, you will just use it only to make tornadoes into ice tornadoes. So you don't need damage, you don't need other stars, so you just need 16 intelligence to be able to launch this stuff to create ice tornado. And you actually can create this ice pass and create normal tornadoes, they will become ice also. From this point you're not using flame wall, you don't actually need it, it's just extra steps. And as you can see, ice tornadoes is pretty cool. We got basic gear without any additions, and we're easily destroying enemies right now, and you will be also available to do it pretty fast and easy. Still in the melee range, sometime we just need to do melee attacks every now and then to increase our range damage, and vice versa. Basically every now and then just do some melee attacks, or you can do it to finally freeze the boss without any additional combinations. And yeah, don't forget, our Whirling Slash is also melee attack, so it's a great combination to always be able to have additional damage. Still, sometimes I just like this melee attack, since it gives us ability to freeze enemies a lot faster, and this will give us ability to make our combination freely without any problem. And I guess it's time to actually recap what we got till this point, and actually that's kinda like finished, completely finished working and very powerful build to go through campaign, and this will basically give you ability to go right to the maps and clear maps fast. So, quick recap of skills. We got Whirling Slash, it's our melee skill, area of effect skill, strike stacked. So we will scale it with some area of effect, maybe with more range later, but instantly you want to have more attack speed on this, and you just want to have higher attack speed on your character, so you can make this triple combination a lot faster. And encumbrance to have some protection against enemies. Then we got Twister, which is our second skill for our combination, with Scatter Shot to deal like more damage with more projectiles, and Concentrated Effect for more area damage. Later on you can scale this stuff with Persistence or other stuff that will keep Twisters longer. You can increase damage by leveling any stuff that scale projectiles and area of effect. And we got Fangs of Frost with Ice Bite that will give us more cold damage after we freeze enemies with the skill. That's why I'm keeping Fangs of Frost with Ice Bite as my main melee skill anyway. And Cold Infusion, so we will basically freeze enemies more often. It will give us extra cold damage, less fire and lightning damage. We use its skill only to freeze our enemies. Last but not least, Frostbolt to make our tornadoes always cold whenever we need them cold. And from this point you just level up all the skills to go through campaign, to destroy everyone, and you can actually go and play with any skill you like. So it's pretty like loose build, you can do whatever you like and experiment with Huntress. That's what I advise you to do. Now let's take a look at our skill tree, what we're doing over here. So instantly you're just going with attack damage, then more attack damage, towards more attack speed and area of effect, then towards melee and projectile damage, and basically all damage tree. What next? Next, we can have these 2 points in attack speed over here for quality of life if you don't need any extra stats. And if you don't need any extra stats, maybe you got a gear with some intelligence so you can do this cool stuff, you can go over here and get like 1, 2, 3, 4 points to go to movement speed, evasion rating and dexterity node. It's a really powerful one. Then we're going basically forward, and from this node we can go towards left. So here 3 points. We will increase our projectile damage if we deal in melee hits. We always deal in these melee hits, so 3 points over here. And then we're going basically forward. Here is attack damage and physical damage nodes, and Twisters only 50%, elemental 50% physical. So actually this is powerful stuff, because left part will increase physical damage, increase stun build up, but it's optional. Right side will increase elemental damage and area of effect, so it's pretty powerful too. Nice critical damage part over here, and also some movement speed. Yeah, this movement speed and evasion rating is really nice in campaign. So that's like early part, what you want to take over here. But then you just want to rush and go to the spear. It's the best damaging part of Huntress, a lot of spear damage over here. And then you just sculpt your build to any build you like and you want to make. Still, you probably have a question. What we want to do with our spirit? And yeah, we're right now in this hunting grounds, so we're going straight to Freightorn and getting our spirit unlocked. And after defeating this boss, we get in Gambloom Skull. That will give us 30 maximum spirit. So now we can use spirit gems. Okay, uncut spirit gems. There's a bunch of really cool stuff here in our awesome hunting Huntress part. And while you can make Herald of Blood builds pretty powerful, we're not here yet. It will be my next Ascendancy Huntress build. Right now, of course, we can pick Herald of Thunder, but again, we're not shocking enemies a lot, so smart way and smart thing to do will be to pick Wind Dancer. Wind Dancer will give us protection, therefore we will be more safe in campaign. But if you're not going for hardcore play, then definitely go for Herald of Ice. Even level 4 Herald of Ice is insanely powerful. Yeah, you will need a bunch of intelligence, so you need to invest into intelligence a little bit, but it will increase our clear speed a lot and will be more and more fun. Since it's pretty easy for us to freeze our enemies, we can easily do stuff like this. We can just go in, make this icy tornadoes, and then with icy tornado we freeze enemies, and they will explode in Herald of Ice explosion. Yeah, Heralds nerfed, but it doesn't mean you don't and can't use them. You definitely can use them and destroy wall screens with fun and ease. You just can't do broken stuff and trigger heralds one of each other. So pick one for your build. This one is icy build. We're definitely going with Herald of Ice for this one. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. There's a bunch of really useful stuff in description, in pinned comment probably, so make sure to take a look over there. And good luck hunting!